Hello Story Chasers, this is Amber again, and today I have Scott with me who is here to answer your questions. So I reached out to you guys on Facebook and on YouTube and said, what questions do you actually have for us about starting a YouTube business, about van life, about anything really that we do in the RVing world, right, or nomadic world? And we thought we would sit down and answer them for you. So we have a little bit differing perspectives. I started out in a actual Class C RV. Scott started out in what he has now, which is
class,
yep, the Heimer van, which I'm now in. He's Canadian, I'm American, so we're going to have a little bit different perspectives, which hopefully will help you guys. If you guys have any other questions than what we're going to answer here today, leave us a comment down below and we will get to those probably in an upcoming video. All right, well, let's get started. So I thought we'd start out with a common question about Scott and I, which is how did we meet and why have I been keeping this big old secret for the last almost year, I guess, now. Yeah. Do you want me to tell it? Do you want to tell it?
Go ahead.
All right, so Scott has a Heimer, as we already said, and I have a Heimer van. And in 2019, January 2019, I was hosting the Heimer meetup in Quartzsite, Arizona, and this guy showed up, along with some other people too.
You didn't talk to me much.
Yeah, he says I didn't talk to him.
Yeah, you were busy because you were just got your 10,000 subscribers.
Oh, was that it? No. I was busy because I was running around all over the event, is what was really happening. But
okay.
Yeah. Then, fast forward to January 2020, we had another Heimer event. We ended up sitting next to each other at the campfire. Sparks were flying, and
yeah. Sat together every night and talked every night. And
we did. We just started traveling together at that point and dating on the road. Yeah. Dating in the real world, right, is very different than dating on the road. Yeah. Dating in the traditional way of living, when you're in a house, you set up a date, you go to dinner, you might not see each other for a couple of days. With us traveling full time, you kind of have to travel with the person, or at least in close proximity, in order to date them, right? Yeah. And we were with each other like every single day, I think.
Spending a lot of time together, yeah.
Yeah. Then we went to Mexico, which was quite amazing, and we just kept continuing that whole dating thing down there. And then was it April? Yeah, early April.
Yeah. I headed back to Canada. My medical insurance was running out and COVID was going crazy. We
were apart for all that time. Mm-hmm. And then when you came back over, well, I should say
we were meeting at the Peace Arch Bridge.
Yeah.
Park. A while there, yeah.
The Peace Arch Park?
Park,
yeah,
sorry, yeah.
I know, we keep calling it the bridge. I actually do have a video on that. If you guys click the link that's right up here, there's several videos on how we were meeting at the Peace Arch Park and then what happened to get him across the border into the U.S. Legally, by the way. ICE is not coming after him. I had comments that ICE was going to come get him and I shouldn't be publicizing this on my YouTube channel. But guys, look,
everything's legal.
Yes. I think we're of average intelligence, at least. We're not going to do anything illegal nor publicize it on YouTube. That just would be dumb. The next question that I got was, are we going to consolidate our vans?
No.
No. Why is that?
Just because 2 dogs and 2 people in a van would be awfully tight, especially with my large dog.
Which is 105 pounds.
Yes.
Yes. Could we do it? We've seen other van lifers do it, but we started out this way, and I think we both like our space, and it's probably better for the relationship if we had that. But it's nice because we come together, we have dinners together, we watch movies at night, we cook together, we hang outside a lot. We're not always in our vans, you know.
And we just pop in and out of each other's vehicles all day, sort of thing. You need the space, just like you have another room to get away from somebody at home. You have another van to get away from somebody, not in a mean way, just to get away and have your own space. We each have to edit videos, so...
and work, and we kind of like our me time. The way that I look at it is we're 2 happy individuals coming into this relationship, sharing our lives, and that doesn't mean that we have to be on top of each other 24/7 in a van setting. We can each have our own individual spaces, and we have different interests and things, so it just works well for us that way.
Exactly, yeah. First question from Joy Newcomb. What is the one thing you thought you needed for full-time travel that you never really used?
Oh, I know for me. It was my microwave. I had a microwave in here and you use that a lot in a sticks and bricks house. I guess you could in here too, but I just didn't really use it that much. I like to cook on the stove or in my Instant Pot. And so I actually took the microwave out and used it as storage.
All I can think of is the first year I had a Coleman stove that I brought with me. Thought I'd want to cook outside and so on, but with having the stovetop in here and the barbecue outside, I never used it, so I just left it in my storage locker at home.
So the next question is from David San Gabriel. He's asking if in previous videos I had said that I might want to purchase some land and build a tiny house on it as a base camp. And am I going to do that? He's seen other YouTubers who've done that, especially during COVID. I haven't done it yet. It's still on my mind to do, but I just haven't done it yet. I haven't really found a place that I think I really want to kind of settle down, if you will, to have a base camp. Maybe somewhere in Arizona, but nothing soon by any means.
No.
How about you?
No, not me, but it definitely was the popular thing this year, that's for sure.
It was, yeah.
All right, from Rustic Nature Reimagined. I would love to hear some things about the way you travel with Lily, going into places, leaving her in the van when you do, her being safe in your van and things like that.
I guess we can both answer this because you have Doozer. Yeah. So Lily is my dog, if you're not familiar with her. She's 10 pounds and I really have to figure out a lot of times when I'm going to places whether she can stay in the van by herself depending on the weather. So I try to chase this 70-degree weather. Sometimes it'll warm up a little bit more than that. Sometimes it'll get a lot colder. Cold is fine for her because I have ways to warm up the van without any issues. The heat is the problem. We do have an AC, but it only really runs best, I think, off of shore power. Yeah. They don't typically turn the AC on. So in that situation, I'll only leave her in the van if I feel like she would be completely comfortable with like the skylight open and the fantastic fan running in the background so that gets airflow in. Otherwise, I just don't do whatever that is because I have to then open up a bunch of different windows or sliding doors in order to keep it cool in here.
Yeah, you just leave either a window or the skylight and the fantastic fan on, and it creates a good flow of air through here, and Doozer's usually fine. He's under the bed at the back, which is a shaded area, and I'm usually not in a place long enough for
him to get too hot.
Yeah.
Susan Broadhead Martinez says, what would you do if you had a flat tire?
Change it.
I wouldn't. Do you know how to change a flat tire?
I do.
Oh. See, he's good to have around. I should know how to change a flat tire. I think my dad taught me a long time ago, but I don't remember him. But I have roadside assistance.
Could always go on YouTube.
And learn. I know. Great idea. Jeez, why didn't I think of that? Maybe that's something that you should teach me. Or you can just do it.
Yeah. Bailey Presno Manlosa. Would you ever travel beyond Mexico and head to Central and or South America? I'm not sure if I would go beyond Mexico.
No.
I might be a little nervous traveling further and with all my possessions in the van and everything.
I think I feel the same way about that. Baja, Mexico was great for us, but anything other than that, I don't know. Not in our vans, I think. Because of like the underground clearance of our vans, we'd have to get a lift kit put on it. And I think for safety purposes, maybe. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't even go to Baja, Mexico on my own as a single guy. I'd rather travel as a group or at least have one other van with me.
The next one is from Michelle Libby. Hello, Michelle. She's actually one of my students.
Okay.
How long did it take for you to make friends? So I talk about escapers a lot. I didn't get into the escapers RV group until about 9 months after I'd started RVing. And that's when I made a lot of my RV friends. But I met people along the way, and I don't know, you just seem to run into people in RV parks or campgrounds or national forest land, and you strike up conversations with them because you have something in common, and you just develop friends that way. So I don't know, I haven't seemed to have a problem making friends along the road. And
not at all. I didn't join Escapers until this year, 2020, so I met tons of friends along the way. And
you've been doing this for how long now?
3 years.
You made plenty of friends along the way.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all. You just walk around where you are and you end up talking to people and you all seem to have common ground on things.
Especially if you have like dogs or kids, that seems to be something that gets you outside more and you can meet people just like you would if you were in a regular neighborhood. Next one.
All right, from Carrie Erlering.
We might be butchering your name, Carrie. Sorry if we
Carrie.
are.
Carrie Allering.
There you go.
How do you incorporate or adapt holiday traditions to van and or nomad life? Well, we just had Thanksgiving dinner.
We made a Thanksgiving dinner in the van.
Yeah, split the cooking in between our two vans.
When I first started on the road, so there's Christmas and birthdays, right? When people like to give gifts. And I asked everybody to not get me gifts because one, they were confused about what they should get me because I live in an RV.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of, you know, you're limited.
Minimalist,
yeah, you're limited in your space. I asked them to not get me gifts because of that. And if they wanted to get me something, it was like Audibles, gift cards, or Amazon gift cards, like something that I could really still use but didn't take up space.
Right.
Same thing for you?
Same thing for me, yeah.
Okay, that was easy. Danielle O. Would you recommend selling or renting your sticks and bricks home before going on the road?
I guess it depends on how sure you are of your goals and where you want to be. And I had no issues at all selling my house and hitting the road. I never owned an RV before. Didn't know what I was doing, didn't know anything about BLM land, and I was totally fine with doing it all first. Sold the house.
Yeah.
The day after I sold my house, I was in my RV heading down to the States.
And is there any reason, like, she said something about renting. Do you think you, like, looking back at it now, do you think you wish you had rented your house out instead of selling it?
No, I don't think so. I'm sure some people have that issue if they're not sure if the RV life is for them, but I was pretty confident that I was going to enjoy it. I've always liked camping, so, yeah.
I feel the same way. I mean, I sold my house and I didn't have a storage unit, which I think you have a storage unit.
I do, yes.
So I opted to sell everything that couldn't fit into my RV or didn't want to bring with me and sold the house. Sometimes I wish I would have rented it out, but I don't know. Like, I just, honestly, the reason why I didn't rent mine out is because I just didn't want to deal with the headache of renting and having to deal with renters. And it would have been my first time doing that and not knowing what to expect, and maybe I might have to go back to Washington to deal with it or hire a property management company if there was a change in renters and clean it.
Something goes wrong and you're days away from being able to get there.
I think the answer for you is really just, it depends on you. Like Scott said, what are your goals? What do you want? If you think that you might not like this lifestyle and you're just testing it out, then I probably wouldn't sell my house. Maybe just opt for renting it or renting it in a couple of months after you've been on the road. Or you can even go on the road part-time before you even make that decision to see if it's something that you really like.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for being free of all of it too.
It is, yeah.
I feel really good about that.
Definitely, yeah. From Mary Montano. Is it hard to have a long-distance relationship with your boyfriend, and how long are you going to be together traveling now? Well, I guess that's for you to answer because I'm the boyfriend.
Yes. So yeah, it was hard having a long distance relationship, and we didn't see each other for 6 months, right?
No, we were supposed to meet up in Canada during the summer.
We were. We thought the borders were open because of COVID. Well, they were closed because of COVID. We thought that they would open sooner than they did. We had no idea that they would be closed this long. So we did plan. My plan when he left to go back to Canada was I was also going to Canada and stay there for 6 months. And we would tour around Canada. But with COVID, we weren't able to do that. So here we are.
Yep.
And then we'll have to figure that out when you have to go back to Canada.
Yeah. It's good having FaceTime and video phone calls and stuff. That helps, definitely.
Yeah, with technology and stuff now, it's pretty easy to do. And how long are you going to be traveling together now? I guess for as long as we're dating. Just on that note, though, like, we don't always have to be together. I mean, we enjoy each other, but there might be times where he wants to go off and do something, and I might want to go off and do something, and we wouldn't be together. So we just recently had that situation where he was able to visit his daughter who was in Utah, and they went and did a bunch of cool things together. I think you were gone for a little less than a week, and so he went and did
about
that.
5 or 6 days. Went rock climbing and canyoneering and stuff. It was great.
So the next one is from Desiree. You comment a lot on my channel, and I don't know how to pronounce your name. We're going to say Desiree LaMarche.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got the last name right.
That's good.
I'm about to buy a travel trailer and have never RV'd in my life. What should I look out for when purchasing my first RV? Also, how far should I travel if I'm only starting? So what should you look out for when purchasing your first RV? Well, that can be a long story.
Yeah,
I'll give you a couple of things. So I think the biggest thing really is, how do you want to travel? So what I mean by that is, do you want to be able to park in a regular parking spot? Do you want to have to worry about your overhead clearance going under bridges? Do you want to go to more places that like big RVs can't go to? Or do you prefer to stay in places where you're going to be there more long term and you want more space, like a house? So that's really going to determine what kind of an RV you get. So for the van,
are you hooking up to shore power all the time? Are you boondocking?
With those situations, like all the RVs, Class A, Class B, Class C's, those can all hook up to shore power, and you can go to campgrounds and stuff like that. But if you want to, like for us, we want to be more nimble and be able to pretty much go wherever we want, like a normal SUV would go to, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So we have a van, but we have to sacrifice space for that. So if you want more stuff and want more space, then a Class C or a Class A might be best for you. So I guess that's really like the biggest thing when you're first starting out looking at what you want. It really just depends on how you want to live. We have to make sacrifices in the van all the time because of the limited space, but it allows us to go out and do more things and explore more areas because we don't have such a big rig. I know a lot of people who are in this life who have Class A's and Class C's who want that nimbleness also. So what they do is they tow like a Jeep or a car or something behind their rig. Also, how far should I travel if I'm only starting out? I would always suggest starting out doing what they call a shakedown tour, which is maybe go to a campsite or a boondocking spot close to where you currently live or where you bought your RV. And then just kind of run it through the ringer, turn on all the, the AC, like all of the lights, like every single thing that functions in your...
Test everything, yeah.
Yeah, test it out to make sure that you don't need to get any kind of warranty work done on it or fix something before you go out on your long distance kind of a trip.
And I guess it depends on your camping experience as well. If you've camped a lot before, or if you've never camped before, you definitely want to stay closer to home to know what you need and what you don't need and figure everything out.
That's exactly what I did when I first started out. Because you guys may not know this, I've never ever been RVing prior to RVing. Did you?
I had once, just for a weekend with my friends.
Okay.
From Carol West. Do you have a checklist when you are leaving a camp and a system maintenance checklist? I don't have a checklist myself. I just do usually a quick walk around the vehicle, make sure everything's tightened down, the bike rack, the spare tire carrier, the awning's in, and then inside the vehicle I make sure that all the cabinets are locked and everything's off the walls or off the counters that's going to go flying around corners.
That's probably good, like in the beginning, to have something like that. I don't really have one now because I kind of do what Scott just said. I do a quick walk around the entire van to make sure I haven't left something open, which I have done before, by the way.
Yep.
I literally left my awning out while driving one time.
I've left with the spare tire carrier down before it was a swing-away arm.
Oh, no. Yeah, so you just kind of get into a habit of things to check.
Yeah, it's pretty routine these days after doing it for 3 years. You kind of know what to...
It is. So the next one is from Alice Alexandra. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about life on the road? Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
There's a lot of favorites, but I think my favorite thing is that my backyard gets to change all the time whenever I want, and I can always go in whatever weather I want. If I want cooler weather or warmer weather, I can do that. So it's literally just moving my RV and accomplishing that, and I get to see all these beautiful, incredible places. My least favorite thing is I don't have a shower. I miss having a shower really a lot, and not having an oven in my RV because I like cooking. I've mitigated that in some ways, but I do miss having an oven.
My favorite thing, that would be just being in the wilderness and the serenity of it all. I love it out here. Mm-hmm. My least favorite thing is definitely the same, not having a shower or hunting down a shower every couple days. I don't miss the oven as much.
You have a little oven that you bought, right?
Yeah, I have a toaster oven.
A toaster oven. On the shower situation, we have a shower. It's a wet bath is what it's called in our Heimers, but...
It's small.
It's not really great, actually.
No.
It doesn't even have a shower head. The way they built it is just dumb. We choose to not take a shower in there because the setup is just not conducive, and we run out of water really quickly in here because we only have 23 gallons? 30 gallons, yeah.
And we've both taken our doors off of our bathrooms.
Yeah, we took our doors off of our bathrooms where the shower is because we just don't use it. So instead, well, before COVID, we had gym memberships where we could go to the gym and take showers at the gym, or you can find aquatic centers or public showers, basically.
It's very easy to find.
Aquatic centers are really great. Truck stops, believe it or not, it can be really
They're
great.
really nice, actually.
Laundromats actually sometimes have showers.
Yeah.
Search online and Google public showers near me. That's how we find them.
Ms. M, what kind of annual maintenance is recommended for your RV? How much can you do yourself? Annual maintenance, well, it's just a Dodge ProMaster frame, so any of the engine maintenance is done at the Dodge dealership. So oil changes, tire rotations, all that kind of stuff.
Well, there's a little bit of a difference. So I know going from a Class C to the van, the biggest difference is the outside maintenance, because Class A's and Class C's, where they have those fiberglass bodies, they're boxes and they're built with wood, and then the frames are wrapped around it. You have to seal corners and edges and stuff annually. In the van, the only thing that we have to seal are the cutout areas where the skylights are at, or a cassette toilet.
Yep.
But other than that, it's a van frame. There's no corner seals or anything that we have to do. So that's a big difference in having something like this versus your Class B's or your Class C's and your Class A's.
How much can you do yourself? I do a lot of it myself. I'm pretty handy with tools and so on. Her, not so much.
Hey, I do some stuff. I know how to change my air filter. There's some things that I know how to do. I was doing this before you came along, by the way.
Do you know how to change a tire?
I don't. No, don't know how to do that.
No.
Mobile repair shops, they'll come out to where you're at and fix whatever you have going on. So you have that option as well. Yeah, you can still do it. You don't have to know everything yourself. You don't have to be handy. You don't have to be mechanically inclined. Nope. You can still do it. Yeah,
and people will help you out too if you're in certain areas.
Oh,
you
yeah,
have problems. People will notice that you're having a problem with your vehicle, and a lot of people will come and give you a hand and help you out.
Tina's Journal of Journeys. Are you still thinking about getting a truck camper? I'm not probably going to get one yet. I'm still not 100% sure on it, but it's looking like it's in the no column. It's going to take quite a bit of money to get into a truck camper. I love the idea of it. I love the space that it affords me. If you saw the truck camper tours that I did, which I'll link up here, I did 2 of them with 2 different individuals, and their truck campers are amazing. One has slides, the other doesn't. And I really loved what they had and what it offers you. I don't know. I think I like the idea of putting that money into a base home instead of a truck camper.
That's a big cost for a truck camper.
It is. And I already have this. There's nothing wrong with what I have. So if I decide to keep this, I'll actually renovate it. Peggy Owen says, where do you legally reside? Are you using the escapee service for your address? For me, I legally reside in Texas. And then are you using the escapee service? Yes. The escapees group has South Dakota, Florida, and Texas as the 3 states that you can domicile in and use their system for getting a domicile address. What about you?
I legally reside in Ontario, Canada. I don't use the escapee service for my address. I get everything electronically, mail-wise, that I need. So I do have an address with a family member where I get any regular mail sent to as well. The Misfit Woman Adventurer. Is it hard to find a veterinarian, especially dog food, while full-time RVing? I am hoping to start full-time in a couple of years. I have an older dog. I am making a lot of notes and trying to get prepared, so hopefully I can have most of the information that I need before I start on the road. It's a good question, because I have to give specialty dog food to Doozer. He's very allergic to a lot of things, and as long as there's a PetSmart close by, I can get his food, and I've never had a problem getting his food in any state or province, for that matter, in Canada. I had to use a VCA hospital, is that what it is?
Yep, VCA.
In Palm Springs, I guess that was last year. Oh, and had to use one in Phoenix last year too, when he blew out his eardrum. And they're very good. They look after you well. VCA's hospitals seem to be the best
Very
place
reputable.
to go.
For me, I use Banfield. It's usually connected to PetSmart. Not every PetSmart has a Banfield, but I've always had Lily on a wellness program there. So I pay a monthly fee that gives her all of her annual vaccinations and free office visits, and she has a dental cleaning once a year, and so they have different plans that you can get. So I use Banfield because they're pretty much around most of the United States. So I tend to use them a little bit, or the VCA hospital. I've had to take her to a VCA hospital as well. Ramona Delaney asked a question that we've already kind of answered, which was the merging of the RVs, which we're not going to do, but she also asked about cooking. So who cooks? Do we both cook? Who's the cooker?
We're both cooks.
Oh, both cooks. So we both had to cook
We both
by
had
ourselves.
to cook when we were singles, so yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, we actually, sometimes he'll do his thing, I'll do my thing. We have a grill, so if one person has a grill on, we'll ask the other person, hey, do you want to use a grill? And you'll keep the grill on for them. They'll come out and we'll grill at the same time. We'll come in here and eat together.
Yeah, we pretty well always eat dinner together.
Yeah. There have been times where we've come together, like, steak dinners, we like those. So
for sure, yeah.
We'll cook steak out on the grill, and I'll cook the potatoes, he'll cook the steaks for us, and then we'll have a vegetable, and we'll come together and have a meal together like that. But for the most part, we do both, I guess.
Yeah.
He's not just cooking for me, if that's what you guys thought.
And she's not just cooking for me.
Exactly. All right. I think that's it for now.
I guess so.
Thank you guys so much for
Thanks,
your
guys.
questions. I appreciate it, and keep them coming. We might do another Q&A at some other point in time.
Hope they get portrayed in a better manner than your last video.
Do you guys like him now? He is a nice guy. He's Canadian, come on.
Yeah.
All Canadians are nice, right?
Yeah.
Alright guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.
See ya.
Bye.